thank you. We are delighted to see you here today, and we're delighted to be here ourselves. This is the only Pops concert that the Arlington Philharmonic plays every year. It's also the hottest concert of the year. We look forward to that. It's a refreshing lack of breeze, you might say. Although I must say, it's last year we did the concert an hour earlier, and the sun was in our faces and everybody's faces the whole time. And right now, I think it's mostly your faces and my face. That's why the orchestra was laughing at the top, because I suddenly realized, oh yeah, right in my face. So it's all good. We're looking forward to it. We have some patriotic music to play for you today. We have some kind of greatest hits of other music, and I'm really looking forward to this performance. And we're going to start with a tradition that we've done for many years, which is to play a piece that's called Armed Forces Salute. And this piece incorporates all the hymns of the 5 services. And we just want to encourage, we first of all want to thank you if you have served in any of the armed services. We are well aware that here in Arlington, we are close to the heart of the country in a sense of military service. And in fact, many of our own members here have served in the military or are currently serving. And we want to encourage you, if and when you hear your hymn, if you have served in the past, to please stand and accept our congratulations. And I also want to warn anybody who is in the Coast Guard that you're going to have to stand gradually and hesitantly. It's nothing to do with the Coast Guard. It's just because that's the way the arrangement's written. It starts out sort of slow in that section, okay? And then you can react fully when the time comes. We hope you enjoy Armed Forces Salute. want to put in a personal thank you to Chris and Joni here, who are at Lover Run, who are helping us run the show. I have brought my equipment. You picked yours up too? Okay. Also, our wonderful personnel manager gave me a birthday present that's 6 months off, but I'll consider it early. It's my personal fan. Here. All right. That's nice. Thank you, Amy. We are going to play for you some music that is one of the most famous spirituals, African American spirituals. And this beautiful music inspired so many people, and including late in the 19th century, the composer Antonin Dvorak, who wrote his New World Symphony, based on really listening to a wonderful singer who was performing spirituals. And he wrote his New World Symphony and actually captured, in a sense, the spiritual so beautifully that somebody later adapted one of the movements from that symphony and into a spiritual. But this is a real, true original. It's called Deep River, and I know you'll enjoy it. We want to sort of pay tribute to all the variety of American music making, and this is our tribute to this spiritual. You've already heard some thanks from Lover Run and to Lover Run. I also want to thank Arlington Arts. You can see the banner behind us, who have helped support our concert and, in fact, our entire season. The Arlington Philharmonic is Arlington's professional symphony orchestra, and our aim is to bring music to the entire community of Arlington for free whenever possible, and we invite your help in doing that. So if you have a chance, if you didn't stop by, there's a table at the top, tells you a little bit more. We've got some wonderful volunteers and board members up there working, and they'd love to meet you if you're interested in finding out more about what we do during the rest of the year, the unhot days of the year. And I'm not obsessed with that, am I? Okay. And also, we welcome your involvement and support. This is really a community-supported organization, so we thank you for considering that. We're going to play for you now some more American music. This is considered by some people the most important part of the most important American symphonic work written, which is a piece originally called Ballet for Martha, written for the choreographer Martha Graham, and later given the title of Appalachian Spring. We're not going to play the entire ballet. We are going to play the most famous section of it, which is his variations on a shaker melody. Which is the gift to be simple. 'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where you ought to be. And it's a beautiful illustration of the simple but important values that we all hold. And this piece was originally an old hymn by the Shakers, and then they captured it along with a lot of other material, as you can imagine, at the Library of Congress. And in fact, Aaron Copland, the composer, would often visit the Library of Congress to get ideas for his music, especially when he was trying to illustrate American folk music and what have you. So that's where he would get his ideas. And actually, the original piece, the Ballet for Martha / Appalachian Spring, was premiered at the Library of Congress in the little auditorium there. They only had place for 13 musicians in the orchestra. So we bring to you the enlarged and improved version where we have all our musicians on stage. It's interesting, too, that Aaron Copland often said that he would have people come up to him and say, every time you play I hear Appalachian Spring, I can just picture the Appalachian Mountains, which he found hilarious because that title came on at the very end, right? It had nothing to do with it. He just thought it was an evocative title that he put on at the end. And yet somehow it does capture so much about the simplicity, the beauty, the wide open spaces of American life. So we hope you enjoy the variations on a shaker melody from Appalachian Spring by Aaron Copland. I already showed you all my fan accoutrements, but I haven't showed off yet my fuzzy purple tie. I can only wear this once a year, but thanks, Mom. But this is the occasion for it, so I get to wear my purple tie and my good humor outfit. Except we have no ice cream. We should next time. Next time. We're going to switch tracks here a little bit, and we're going to play a little bit of British music. This is the time of year when we have a lot of students who are graduating, and it's become traditional to play the Pomp and Circumstance March of Edward Elgar, British March. He wrote actually several of these Pomp and Circumstance marches. The only one you ever hear is Pomp and Circumstance March number 1, which we're going to play. But actually, you never hear most of it. You only hear the trio, the beautiful tune. And if you hear that, you may hear it too much. By the way, I don't know if I told you, but I wrote a brass quintet version of this that you can play for hours without getting tired. Anyway, see me later. Okay. So what we want to really, it actually reminds me, when I was young, there used to be this commercial on television, and it was for LPs, classical music LPs, and it was the sort of greatest hits of classical music. It was called something like that. And they had a catchphrase that they used, which was, all the wonderful music that you love without a single unknown, unwanted passage. So you hear like 13 seconds of Rachmaninoff's, piano concerto. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I see my mom. Isn't that true, Mom? Yes, okay. So anyway, what's so nice about this piece is it really has all sorts of different moods in it, and instead of just hearing the most familiar graduate mood, you're going to hear all the others as well. I should ask, is anybody graduate recently in the audience? Show of hand? Oh, no, you didn't. Young man, finished school. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Anyway, we're going to play this for you, and you'll notice the kind of hustle and bustle. These are the parts that you never get to hear. Hope you enjoy the Pomp and Circumstance March number 1 by Edward Elgar. I have to admit, while we were playing, I had a sudden vision of The Graduate suddenly speeding up, which would be kind of fun to watch. One of the things that we like to do in the Philharmonic is there is so much amazing music for the symphony orchestra, and we're always trying to bring pieces that you might not have heard or other composers and things to life, as well as kind of pay homage and enjoy the amazing masterworks that we have. But I just want to invite all of you, not only I've already invited you to volunteer and help any way that you can, but I also want to just invite you to our concerts throughout the year. This is not so different from what we usually do, and the music that we're presenting has so many different varieties of styles. And it's a warm and welcoming environment, and we just please keep in touch with us so that we can tell you about what's coming up. But we would like to make this, we love this atmosphere, right? This atmosphere in Lover Run, and this really should be the concert atmosphere, if you know what I'm saying, right? So I may have to wear my fuzzy purple tie, but you don't have to. Okay, so you're welcome to our concerts during the year. So this sort of British, mood that we're in a little bit, we're going to escape from that briefly, come back to it in a little bit, but we're going to actually play a piece of music that is, it's a renowned thriller for the orchestra. This is from the opera Samson and Delilah by Camille Saint-Saens. And the saying goes, Camille Saint-Saens was racked with pains when people addressed him as Saint-Saens. That was a poem by Ogden Nash. But anyway, he was sometimes, sometimes made fun of as a first-rate, second-rate composer. I think he said that about himself. But in fact, he really knew how to create drama, not only in his orchestrations, but in his operas. And Samson and Delilah is obviously a fitting dramatic subject. It ends badly, as operas usually do. But this one doesn't. This is the dance of the Philistines. And you may notice in operas, maybe in real life, that the bad people seem to have the most fun. And that is certainly true here. So this is the Bacchanale, and you'll hear the wild abandon that comes through. But it's also, you can listen for some of the exotic touches that Camille Saint-Saens brings into the music. So one thing that you'll hear sometimes is instead of a major or minor scale, you get a lot of what are called augmented seconds in the music. So instead of you'll get da-da-da-da, that kind of, he's sort of trying to capture something a little bit different in the music. And you'll also notice that in the rhythmic, the way the rhythms are kind of offset from each other. It makes for really a thrilling piece of music, and more thrilling if I stop talking about it and just play it for you. So this is the Bacchanale from Samson and Delilah by Camille Saint-Saens. Well, we've arrived at our last selection for today. We already played for you that piece by Elgar, which is also kind of doubles as a sort of British, sort of like anthem in a way, Land of Hope and Glory. And I don't know, did anybody watch the coronation ceremony? Was it just, oh good, nice. I'm that kind of person, I got up early to watch. My daughter came down and watched it, so proud. 16 years old, she got up at 5 a.m., I don't know. Once. But anyway, we enjoyed watching that. There was only one thing I didn't really like about the coronation. They had the orchestra hidden. Isn't it about the orchestra? I thought it was. But you could hear the beautiful playing anyway. And one of the other things that I thought was so interesting in the service and afterward were there were a couple of very famous British composers who were seen in the crowd. One of them was Andrew Lloyd Webber. Did you see him? He was there in sort of front and center in Westminster Abbey, and right next to him was seated the Welsh composer Carl Jenkins. Carl Jenkins is most famous for the music for the Diamond commercial, the De Beers. Pip, 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 pop, 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 pop. Sing it with me. Pop, 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 pop. You know the words? There's no words. Pop, 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 etc. Okay, that's his most famous piece. But anyway, to musicians, he's a very recognizable figure because he has this kind of bowl cut and a huge kind of walrus mustache. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but it later came out that there were rumors that was actually Meghan Markle in disguise. Did you? I don't know. It was in the Post and everything. Whatever it takes to get classical music mentioned, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go for that. But anyway, why am I even talking about it? Okay, because we're going to play some music by Andrew Lloyd Webber. And specifically we're going to play the piece of his that was a monster hit for many, many years, The Phantom of the Opera. We're going to play some selections from that. Oh, thank you, good. Right. His melodies are just so memorable and singable, and of course he has many, many great hits. But we're sort of, since it has just gone off of Broadway for the first time in, 40 years or some crazy thing like that, we thought it'd be nice to give it a little curtain call here. And the part of the Phantom of the Opera will be played by Fabian Faccio on the organ over there. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. He's not going to be singing today, which, I don't know, that would have been nice. Next time. Okay, so here's some highlights from Phantom of the Opera. Again, thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope that don't be a stranger. We hope that we'll see you during the year. It gets cold, it gets dreary. We like to see our faces of our supporters and audience members. So thanks again for that. Here's selections from Phantom of the Opera.